One is they have acquired enormous political and financial power. You'll find representatives of the order in politics, as I
What have they done with this power? What has happened to America that would not have happened had they not been the order?
Creation of war and revolution. World War II, the Bolshevik Revolution, and the rise of Hitler, which I call a revolution in Germany. We can find the order behind the Russian Revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution. We can find behind the rise of Hitler. We can find in the maintenance of both of these systems, the transfer of technology to both.
Since you've already proven that Wall Street is behind the Bolshevik Revolution and the rise of Hitler, now you're proving that the order is behind Wall Street.
Exactly.
What did the order want to accomplish in the Bolshevik Revolution?
You create opposing forces which you place in conflict. Out of conflict, you've got profit. You've got political power, and you can direct history. And if you look at the writings, for example, of the Trilateral Commission, they talk openly in the Trilateral Commission about managing conflicts, not solving conflicts, but managing conflicts. Conflict management, that's the cry.
So they got the profit, the power, and the management. Mm-hmm. Where did they want to steer history through the Bolshevik Revolution?
They wanted to set up, and they did, two opposing forces. Out of that came World War II. There were logical steps in the process. They used the same bank, Guarantee Trust Company, as the conduit for the financing of Hitler, and also as a conduit for financing, and also the early days of the Russian Revolution.
Almost for 35 years, I've worked in every major media market in the United States, and I've written for more than 100 newspapers and magazines nationally and internationally. So last September 17th, I became the first journalist in U.S. history to go to the U.S. National Archives and the Library of Congress and pore over the thousands of pages of documents in both places to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt or any refutation of the facts that Prescott Bush, the grandfather of George W. Bush, and George Herbert Walker, his maternal great-grandfather for whom his daddy is named, were Nazi traitors to the country who should have been tried for treason. 2 weeks ago in early August, a major world newspaper, The Guardian of London, finally got on the story internationally.
Whereupon he made this statement to me, namely, Mr. Dodd, we here operate on in response to similar directives, the substance of which is that we shall use our grant-making power so to alter life in the United States that it can be comfortably merged with the Soviet Union.
Because his father, although Armand Hammer today is chairman of Occidental Petroleum Corporation, his father was Julius Hammer, who in 1919 was Secretary General of the Communist Party USA, which emphasizes the argument I make throughout my books, that at the top level, there's no difference between the top communists and the top capitalists. They interlink.
That the central banks of the world are working to create a feudal system by which they can control the governments, and then the governments will control the people in the world. The true objective of what's going on today is the establishment of a one world government, a new world economic order.
No, I think this would be the time, because you really need to bring China into the creation of a new world order, financial world order.
To the American people and to the world, that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
Kaufman and Rokossovsky experienced difficulties in breaking through a still resolute German defense. Konev's forces reached the southern outskirts of Berlin on the 18th of April, and Stalin agreed that he could carry on into the center of the city. Zhukov, too, now began to break into the city from the east.
Tomorrow, 10 countries from Eastern and Central Europe and the Mediterranean will join the EU, making the 25-nation bloc the third largest in the world in terms of population after China and India, with more than 450 million inhabitants.
I think the folks that are poised to take an advantage of this May 1st accession.
Thank you all very much. Admiral Kelly, Captain Card, officers and sailors of the USS Abraham Lincoln, my fellow Americans. Major combat operations in Iraq have ended. In the Battle of Iraq, the United States and our allies have prevailed.
Ah!